Today I'm going to show you how to sew the easiest little canvas tote bag. It is for canvas material, but you can generally use any kind of fabric to make this. If you want the printable sewing pattern that you can print off at home and use, go to the link in the description box below, or you can go to alohasewingcompany.com and get those printable pattern pieces. You can use these bags for any purpose. This is actually my daughter. She came to me kind of in a rush and wanted a bag for a trip she was going on. So I whipped this up for her and I'm going to show you how I did that. You're only going to need 2 pieces of fabric cuts. This is 4-inch wide and I just cut it the entire strip of my fabric while it was still folded. This is going to be the bag part and you cut this on the fold of the fabric, and again the printable pattern piece has all of the right dimensions and stuff that you'll need. So I'm going to show you how to make the straps. This is the fabric for your strap. What you're going to do is you're just going to fold it in half with the right sides of the fabric together if you're using another kind of fabric, and press that down with your iron. I'm only showing you a small portion of my strap, but you're going to go down the entire row. Now you're going to open this up, and that middle crease that you just made with your iron, fold the bottom half of your fabric right up to that middle crease. You're going to do this all the way down your entire strap, and then you're going to do the same thing with the other raw edges of your fabric, bringing that right up towards the middle crease that you made with your iron. Once you've done that, you're going to fold the top and bottom together so that you have a fold on one side and your 2 folded ends on the other side. Once you have this ironed and pressed all the way, this is what your strap will look like. And then we're going to bring it over to the sewing machine and you're going to sew right along the side to close those 2 folds, using about a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance right close to the fabric edge. And I like to go and do that on both sides. When you're sewing this strap, make sure that you keep the top and bottom fabric pieces lined up evenly. Here's my strap all finished. Now the next thing that we want to do is just go ahead and fold your strap in half so that you meet the 2 raw ends of your strap. Make sure it's nice and straight, and then you're gonna go to the loop end of that fold and you're just gonna cut this strap right in half. Doing that will give us 2 equal sides for our straps, and we will attach those here in a little bit. Now let's work on your bag. This is the bag fabric. The top is the raw edges and the bottom is the fold. So we're going to be working with the top of our bag right now. This is the wrong side of my fabric. What you want to do is roll that raw edge up about 1/4 of an inch, and then you're going to press it flat with your iron all the way down so that you have a nice folded end right there at the top. Then you're going to fold it in about 1 inch and do the same thing. Make sure that you do the front and back part of your bag exactly the same like I just did here. And I'll show you one more time. Now let's add the strap to this bag. You want to unfold that 1-inch fold that you just made and place 2 small marks 3 inches inwards from each side of your bag. There's also markings on the printed pattern piece if you need it. Now you're going to get the raw edges of your strap and you're gonna place it right to the inside of where those markings are and put the raw edge of the strap all the way up against the crease from that folded fabric that we had pressed that 1-inch fabric down. Because in a minute, we're gonna attach that and then these straps will fold up just like this. So again, put those straps on the inside markings of each side of your bag, going right up to that crease, pin or clip it in place, and then you're just going to sew the raw edge of that strap to your bag piece using about a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. I have mine sewn on now, so they are holding nicely in place. And the next thing that we're going to do is fold the top of our bag fabric down that inch just again where that crease is. Straighten your straps out, and then you're going to pin or clip your strap so that it stays nice and straight. And you're going to sew all the way across, staying right close to the edge of that fold, about 1/8 of an inch. Here's mine sewn. You can see I stayed right close to the edge of that fold down there. Now you just want to fold your strap up to the top of your bag. Make sure your strap is straight and then pin or clip that. And then we're going to sew a square right across the top of that strap to attach it and reinforce that strap so that it's nice and sturdy. If you're not planning to use this for groceries or something heavy, you can also just sew a straight line at the top of your bag, attaching the strap one more time. If you don't have experience sewing around corners like this to do a small square, let me show you how. Also, if you do decide to make this bag out of canvas, you can lift your presser foot a little bit more than it lifts on its own to fit that strap underneath your walking foot or your sewing machine's foot. Go ahead and place your sewing machine needle up to your fabric about 1/8 of an inch away, and you're going to sew all the way until you get to the edge about 1/8 of an inch away from that strap. And then you're going to keep your needle inside of your fabric, lift your presser foot, rotate your fabric, and then keep sewing until you get to the next corner. Again, I lifted my presser foot with the needle still in the fabric, rotated my fabric, put the presser foot back down, and continued all the way around this square. Now the strap is sewn to the inside of our bag. This is the outside of our bag, and this is how it should look at this point. So you want to make sure that your bag fabrics are wrong sides together. So this is the pretty side of our fabric if you're using a different fabric. And you're going to sew using about a 1/4 inch, 1/4 of an inch seam allowance down both sides of your bag. Not across the top, just across both sides. Here's mine sewn. You can see I used a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that is important, and I'll show you why in just a little bit. After you have that done, go ahead and clip all 4 corners of your bag, so that way when we flip this right side out, or inside out I should say, the bulk won't be in those corners and the corners will poke out nicely. If you have any fabric that's frayed along the sides, go ahead and trim that down, and trust me, don't skip this step, because if you do, some of those frayed fabrics will show on the outside of your bag when we're all finished. Now we're going to turn this inside out so that the wrong side of your fabric is showing. Go ahead and smoothen out your seams with your finger. I like to use a chopstick as well to make sure that my seams are nice and flat and I'm able to poke out my corners. Make sure you don't poke too hard because you will go through those stitches. Now, if you need to, go ahead and bring this to your iron and press those seams flat so that they are nice and even on both sides. It's important that you have those seams nice and even and flat. Once you've done that, you're going to sew up both sides again using a 3/8 to 1/2 inch seam allowance. You want to encase the 1/4 of an inch seam that you already sewed. That's why you're having a bigger seam allowance now. You can see I used about 1 centimeter and it encased that 1/4 of an inch raw edge of the seam that I had made before. This is a French seam, super easy, and it makes sure that you don't have any raw edges showing on your bag. After you do that, flip it right side out and smoothen out your seams, get out any wrinkles, and poke the bottom corners of your bag out, and you are completely finished. It is a super quick and easy project, and it's a great gift. You can use it for anything as a gift bag, an overnight bag, a grocery market tote, literally anything. And don't forget, if you want the printable sewing pattern for this project, you can go to the link below in your description box and click on that to get them, or you can go to alohasewingcompany.com. I hope you enjoyed my sewing tutorial. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You have no idea how much it really helps, and you'll be notified anytime a new pattern is released, and that is super easy to follow because I gear towards beginners. I have patterns for children, for babies, for household stuff, for adults, clothing, all kinds of stuff. So make sure you check us out at alohasewingcompany.com. And before you go, mahalo.